What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. In today's video, we're going to be looking over the LaserPecker 4. They were nice enough to send me one for a review, so we're going to open up the box and check it out. It looks pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Alright, so this is what comes in the box. I'll be putting the laser together here in a moment, but we got some glasses, USB cable, and our power adapter and our cord, as well as a couple of screws that are going to go to putting it together, some Allen wrenches, and some business cards. Some little planks of wood that we'll be testing it out on. So let's get to putting it together. So basically right here, I'm just taking it out of the box and putting it together. And it's actually pretty simple to put together. It's only 4 screws. But unfortunately, my camera angle was off here and I had not noticed until now that I'm editing it. So you can't really see what I'm doing, but it's just 4 screws that are screwed in together. And to access those screws, you got to flip it over. That's why I put the foam down so I could flip it over and not run the risk of damaging it. And for the laser part that goes on top, it's also just a screw. You got to just put it on and screw it in. It's a pretty simple setup and extremely easy to put together. I've gone on ahead and connected everything. It wasn't too difficult. I did have to look into the directions because I was having trouble with the light getting this guy on here, but that's because I pulled the cap the wrong way and actually unscrewed something I wasn't supposed to unscrew. It's a rather small unit and it has a small footprint, so that's pretty nice too. It's very portable. And I think I'm going to have to look into the instructions to figure out how to use this guy. Alright, so first things first, before being able to use the laser, I have to align those spots right there to make M1. And to do that, I have to toggle on this guy right here. One goes up, one goes down. And we gotta move closer and closer. Which is pretty cool. I can do it with just a button and I don't have to go through the trouble of having to do it with a crank or anything like that, or a knob. So we're pretty good right there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make some letters. Before I go on ahead and engrave, let me show you I'm alright JP's Bladeworks. And the cool thing is I can do all this off an app on my phone that you can just download on the Google Play Store. It's for both iOS and Android. And we're gonna give it a try. So I had it set to the wrong laser. This is a dual laser system, so I had it set for metal and it should have been set for wood. So we're gonna go on ahead and give this another try. Alright, so I got it to work, but I did not hit record when I did it, so we're gonna go with it again. So while this marks, I'm going to tell you about a function that I didn't include in the video, and that is a handheld function. You can actually take this machine, take the head apart, and you can actually just set it on something. Let's say it's something bigger that it doesn't fit right there, or maybe the actual stand is in the way. You can actually just set it on top and hold it, and it'll be able to mark the piece that you're working. For example, you have a bigger table that you want to put your maker's mark on, and you want to mark it in wood like we're marking right here, or you're marking another piece, or maybe you're marking a sheet of metal that is bigger than what fits on here, and maybe you're marking a door. It also works for doors. I've seen people do that. So that's definitely one of the cool qualities in this machine. So if you're looking for something like that, this machine does it, and I think that's a pretty cool function. Alright guys, and this is the result of the engraving. Up top I have it at 4K, and down here I have it at 1K. The 4K took a bit longer to do than the 1K, and it left a little bit of a burn mark to it, but that's nothing that we can't just lightly sand out. But it also did it a lot deeper, and you can definitely feel it really good with your fingers. So if you're doing something like cutting boards and you want it to be pretty deep, definitely would go with a 4K, because it also gives you a nice cleaner ending result. But if you're doing something quick, maybe a pass or two, this is one pass, maybe another pass, or maybe if you tweak it around a little bit to find it the way it works the best for whatever wood you're using. But it did give me a very, very good result without any of the extra heating involved. But still, I would like to sand it down a little bit. Overall, it looks very good. The letters are crisp and I'm very happy with it. But this is a knife making channel and we're going to be marking our knives and our maker's marks on our knives with it. So let's get to trying it on some steel. So this was one pass at 20% or 100% strength, 20% depth on a metal oxide, and it looks pretty good. You can definitely feel it with your fingers, but on the other side I have a ground to a 120, and we're going to try it on this side as well, see if there's a difference between the mill scale side and this side. Alright, so it's done, and this one took 5 minutes and 54 seconds. The original one, the other side that I did, it took 1 minute and 11 seconds, and this was just one pass. And the reason why it took longer is because the other one was set to 1K resolution, and I picked this guy up to 4K resolution, and it definitely took a bit longer, but let's see if it's any better. So it looks pretty good. It's not very deep, but it's definitely got some depth. This is also 20% depth. It's not, I didn't make it too deep, but it's definitely a lot better than this. A lot clearer than this. This didn't go that deep at all in comparison. So far so good. I'd probably go a little bit deeper whenever I do my maker's mark, but we're going to try out the maker's mark now, and we'll see what it looks like, and we're going to play with depth a little bit too so we can get it down right. So here's the logo, 75% depth, and that's pretty nice. I can definitely feel it. The logo's coming out pretty nicely. I gotta go make a new logo, one that's filled in, so I can do it on here. But so far so good. Go on ahead and get our next one going. It's reflected the lights behind me, so it's kind of hard to look at, but yeah, that came out very nicely. So all that's left to do is mark a knife, so let me get a knife ready. So this is one of my older knives. It's been worked on. I've ground it a little bit just to clean it up. You can still kind of see the old logo in there, but it's an old knife. It's probably 2.5, 3 years old, and it's perfect testing materials for this. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in there, and I won't deny it looks pretty cool seeing the maker's mark get put on there, but the reason why I haven't really been showing it throughout the video is because it's very long pauses of just still quiet. But I thought I'd show this one and appreciate that beautiful logo. Alright, so this guy came out pretty nice, very nice and deep. But I'm going to hit it with the wire wheel because I want to see what it looks like after I hit it with the wire wheel. So after a quick pass with the wire wheel, it's still very nice and visible. I can feel it just slightly with my finger. It's not as deep as my original electro etch, but that can be fixed by making it deeper and or giving it more passes. But overall, yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's very nice and crisp too. It's very, very good resolution on the marking, and I'm pretty happy with it overall. Alright guys, so my overall thoughts on this machine. It's a great entering machine, especially for hobbyist makers. It has a lower price entry point versus the other machine that I did not too long ago, and that really helps out on not having to spend too much on a marking machine. Now, do you necessarily need a marking machine so you mark your knives? No. There's cheaper options like a electro etch, but this is going to give you a nice crisp and repeatable logo on your knife every single time. And actually, it's very quick and easy to put together and work from your phone. Now, if you are going to have one of these lasers, you definitely want to keep it away from the dust. So you probably want to keep it in a room or somewhere where you're not grinding. Unlike me, where I have my grinder here, so I keep this guy inside my house. Overall, it's a very nice machine. And if you guys are looking into upgrading your marking setup, definitely check them out. I will have a link in the description down below where you can check out this exact machine, and you can get a 5% discount by using code JP at checkout, and I'll get a little kickback for the channel. Also, be sure to order an air purifier with it if you're going to be using it inside your house. That way you can make sure to not get all the bad fumes and all that stuff if you're working in a ventilated area, or like me, I have my garage door open, I have that fan running, so whenever I mark, I don't have those issues. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.